Hey, welcome to my Great Guitar Build-Off 21 Bill's Law edition. What is Bill's Law? Bill's Law states that anything Murphy may have forgot, omitted, or just plain did not know in the first place can and will happen to Bill. I am Bill. And on this video is my second official entry here. I'm going to show you a progress report, some of the tools I've been working with. You guys are going to have a big laugh on that one. And let's get to it. Let's dive right into it and get the close-ups of everything I am working on. Alright, let's start with the tools that I've been working with here. As you see, it's very extremely minimalistic. Start with the first and most important thing, the coffee. Always present, always available. And a lot of the carving work that I've been doing have been done with pretty much razor blade, some chisels, nothing spectacular, and then been keeping them sharp with a old knife stone that I've had, and of course sanding block and various grits of sandpaper, my straight edge for sanding in between frets, file for them hard places and to keep other things clean. Speaking of clean, always got to have a toothbrush to get all the dust and stuff out of all the nooks and crannies. Measuring tools, a jeweler screwdriver, which I sharpened to do some fine detail work on inlays, and I've got video showing a little bit of work on that. Standard issue marking implements and some files for the material that's used for inlays. Alright, that said, let's show you where we stand on the build. Yes, we forgot one of the other tools that I use so far on the build are my Dremel. That's pretty much the only power tool other than a drill I borrowed from a friend of mine that I'll use for all the holes and stuff like that. But those are the bits that I use, just those three: cutter, a little stone, and sanding wheel. That little disc, or those discs, I've gone through about 20 of them so far, have done most of the work on the build for me so far. And of course, my Dremel with the router attachment, and one of the bits. Yeah, I end up having to sand this down, get it flat, and basically keep sanding down to like 2000 grit to get it as polished as best I could, because when I first started routing on here, you'll see I left some scratch marks in the body, and end up having to sand off my staining job, and it looked freaking awesome. But it is what it is. We learn and we adapt. Some of the material that I'm using here is I bought this pick guard material, and I'm going to be using it in various places and parts of the build. Still haven't figured out if it's a permanent thing or not, but for now we're going to go with it and see where it develops. We may change up later on, but for now it is what it is. First thing I did with that was spend a couple hours cutting out and carving these and fitting them, and now I gotta remember which one was where. I think you go there, and you go there, and that leaves you back here. I know you fit in there. Oh, maybe maybe we have them mixed up. Thought that would fill in a little too easy. You. Anyway, they fit. I got them mixed up. I'll have to play around them later. But they go in their respective places, as well as these. Takes a minute or two to remember where things go. But all these channels were, I routed these and it left a bunch of nasty scratches here and here. Still one right here, it's still got to be finished out, sanded out right there and there before I restain. But we got that. And then this is the roll that we're working off of. And finished this channel out last night. And we're dressing that up. So I figured out with that split that was in here, I didn't know what to do. I was going to carve a fancy thing in here and yada yada yada, but seemed like it was too time consuming. Boy, was I wrong. Got into this and doing that by hand, man, what a pain. But anyway, I saw a PRS Santana edition custom job, and it had these and it had this. To me, this doesn't look quite right with the two here and then the one center back here. This is going to be chopped off from there forward. But it solves my issue. I just got to heat this and form fit it down here to get that to fit in there. But that is that, done and done. So those quick things are gone. Got the switch plates filled and drilled. They were off center, so I had to do something about that. The PRS style ball shaped hole there, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that, which is why I came up with these for filling in the holes where the switches are going to go. I had found two sets of knobs that I want to use. One is similar like this. It's black and silverish or grayish, and it kind of matches that, but the material they use is black light reactive, so it could be interesting. But there's also a set of red anodized with a chrome top and a red etching on the top of it that I might go with instead. Nice thing about these is there's also, if I don't like that, I can just flip them over and paint them whatever color that I need. If I need to go darker with the black to match that, it's very easily doable. So on to the effects of Bill's Law. The neck I showed you originally was for bolt-on, and the body is set neck. So I made the shape here as I showed in the original video, carved it out, started shaping it, and I had drilled and pinned it, but with the clamps I'm using, I only have access to those little squeezy clamps. I only had 2 of them. I didn't pay attention, and this is twisted. Again, Bill's Law. If it can happen, it will. But for now, it fits in there nice and snug. I gotta fill in that gap there so it can't go anywhere. Its center line is straight and everything. I just gotta set the brake angle. I gotta carve out just a hair more to get the brake angle. And the edge of the neck is right even with the edge of the pickup here, so the pickup should slide in right nicely underneath that, although this may stick out over it a little bit. but the pickup plates, mounting plates that I'm going to do are going to cover basically from here around. I may do that in a sweeping semi-round motion, and then do this like kind of oval to give it proportion and shape. But that's where we stand. I didn't like the bright white maple once the colors were on, and this was fully red, and with the black contrasting, I was just too much white. This is the first coat of stain. It's got to be sanded, obviously, get it nice and even. But we've got that, and we've got the plate that I carved last time for the truss rod cover. I may keep that, or I may cut it out of that pickguard material to match. I think that's going to look pretty nice up there instead of the hand carved one I did. So that is that done and done. So somewhere in the next day or so here, I'm going to get the glue in the neck, see if I can get a better clamp set up. I said I got to carve that filler space in there, get that all fitted in, and then get the neck glued up once we get the brake angle done. Oh, I know what I didn't show is the back part here. With that set up in there, I tried shaping this to where I was going to get that to overlap and match that bevel there. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, so I'm going to grind that down to where that's just flat, so I can make sure I got a perfect bond, because I can't see underneath there, and I ain't going to take a chance on not having that butt up and get a solid connection there for the glue. So another thing, it's going to take a little bit of time, but we have got it done. We're getting close. All the parts are in except for the control knobs. So we are going to move forward. As you can see, that works out perfect. The center line, that's how far off the center line was. You can see a split where they glued it together, but that's actually the true center line right there, that carve. So thus ends Bill's Law Edition Part 2 for the official entries. Good luck with your builds. I'm going to keep looking at other people's stuff and see what I can learn. But all in all, we're making progress, slow and steady.